All right, back to gardening questions. This one, pH managing for worm casting teas. Not really a question. I think maybe what he's trying to ask is, do you need to pH your worm casting teas?
That's a great question.
I've never considered that ever, because usually you have a buffer in your soil if you're using worm castings. So it's crazy how many people I know who grow organic who are always just like pH. Like of my water, alkaline, like to drink. It's like, you want to stay alkaline for sure. And I'm like, no, I mean, for plants. Like, it's not even usually a conversation. I don't know. That's the first I've even heard that one.
Yeah, I mean, you have to figure out what's the water source to begin, what's the pH to begin. When you're putting the worm castings in there and brewing the tea, is it being different from before the brew to after the brew, right? A lot of people, don't. I don't know anybody who really does, because you've got the beneficials in there. If you're adding in an acid, for example, say you're raising up your pH to 7, if you're putting an acid in there, arguably you're killing off some of those beneficial microbes. Now, it's not wiping out the whole population. And I think that's a big misconception. Is people like, don't pH your teas at all. You're killing off all the microbes. Not all of them. You're telling me a couple drops is killing off into all the microbes in that? No,
you'd have to make it unbelievably acidic to do that.
Yeah,
kill your plant at that point.
But if your pH raises up a little bit, you're not going to need, like, I don't pH. I don't know anybody who does pH their teas after brewing.
No, and that's a good point too. Is it's like if you're using a tea, you're not usually going into a media where you would need to pH it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the key thing. It'd be like asking if you want a pH after adding advanced nutrients, a pH perfect advanced nutrients. It's like, well, no one's really looking at that because it says pH perfect. It's not a part of your step. So yeah, it's a good question to ask if you're new into it because you're not sure.
Got anything, P?
It's like worms I use for fishing, brother.
Yeah, love worms, bro. I got nothing.
Okay. Next one up would be, let's see, with organic grows, how much bloom booster do you feed in, if any?
Bloom booster. Oh, I have used Build a Bloom going into flower, if you consider that a bloom booster. But for me, I would just be, I guess if you're increasing your potassium and phosphorus, would be your only thing. But it wouldn't be a bloom booster per se for organic. I don't know. Are we talking organic super soil or are we talking organic bottles?
Yeah, that'd be a good point. Good question there, right? So
I never thought of. These are questions that I haven't thought about with organic, and you're throwing me for a loop.
Throwing them for a loop here,
What about
so
you?
For me, when I'm growing organic, I'm mostly just doing the all-in-ones.
Yeah.
Craft Blend, Build Soil Craft Blend. It's got everything you need for flower as well.
The build a flower.
Build a
bloom.
Build a
bloom. Build a flower.
Build a flower.
Let me
Build a
hold
bloom.
on. Hold on.
You gotta look it up. But yes,
you
I
got
did.
a discount code.
I have used that as well, and I particularly in flowering. And yeah, maybe they do consider it. Maybe you can consider that a bloom booster because you are changing the nutrition to focus on flower production. So yeah, I've used that in the past. I haven't used really anything else really to targeting because those all-in-ones have everything. Another one notable mention instead of Craft Blend, an alternative would be Kiss Organics Nutrient Pack. You guys already talk about that a handful of times. I've been using that for the past 2 or 3 years now. Excellent results, really, really good results. Shout out to Dad Hussey. He's doing some great things, not just with organic amendments, but also soils. He has like water-only soils and stuff like that. So really good stuff.
So I think with the biggest thing you're looking at already, we were saying phosphorus and potassium being the boost you're trying to add into this point with the Build a Flower. If you have anything that's going to have like a kelp meal or something, a high phosphorus additive, this Diamond KAG gypsum and high phosphorus organic rice bran are the two things that are really adding into what they're using. So you don't necessarily need to get another mix. You can get these two individual items and just increase your P and your K.
Okay, so those two items were potassium and phosphorus?
Yep.
Oh, sweet.
So
sweet.
those are just the particular sources that you're getting them from.
And sorry, what was the second one?
Kelp. Well, the kelp was the additional side. One was a rice bran and one was a gypsum.
And a gypsum. Cool.
So it's like
a gypsum or
AS gypsum.
Gypsum, not like a gypsum salt. Like a gypsum.
Gypsum, not a gypsum.
Just
gypsum.
Okay. That's where I was confused. That's fine. Anytime you're trying to boost put phosphorus and potassium in your grow, sounds great to me. Yeah. So
this is later in the flower too. So
let her buck, man.
And you don't have to do it either because I have done multiple times with just the regular blend.
Stash blend will do that for you as well because we do have some potassium and phosphorus.
A little bit of one,
a
little bit of 5.
Yep.
Something better than nothing.
moving on with the questions. We've got next one.
Great questions.
What is the most drought-tolerant strain?
Ooh.
We got some good questions this time
This
around,
is
right?
a really good one. This is
I'll
an
answer it
advanced. This is
first.
you. Go answer it.
I'll answer it. Is my answer isn't one you're gonna probably like, but there are tens of thousands of strains out there. It's impossible for us to really know all these strains in detail. And for me, give you a recommendation on what's the best drought-tolerant strain.
At least
right?
half of it.
It's not something I really, I've grown hundreds of different strains now, and I don't really look to see, this one's more drought tolerant than this one. I don't really observe that at any level, to be honest with you. I don't know if you guys do.
We don't do stress tests for fun. and we're very fortunate that we've been growing long enough that we know optimum watering levels. If you're looking for something that can withstand that, you want a very resilient strain. You just want a genetic that's going to be able to be in a large container. There's no simple one genetic that can handle their roots drying out and the media drying out. But what can work is putting your plant into a larger container. This is why my plants die when I come to Canada, because I forget to transplant in large containers. So someone has to water my plants every day, and I didn't do any of the things I planned on doing to transplant. I couldn't have any genetic that could deal with being in a solo cup and while I'm gone for 7 days. I just think that you need to put it in a larger container. The single genetic that's going to handle it is something that may be originating in a desert climate, but I don't see anything being drought resistant, unless the drought resistance is hermaphroditic traits you're trying to avoid, and we're talking that, then you just want strong genetics.
Yeah, what are they trying to do? Are they trying to do drybacks? Because a lot of strains can, withstand. Strain. Yeah, right, Every exactly, strain. Right. So drought tolerant. I mean, when the medium completely dries out, all these plants are going to act the same. They're going to be stunted.
Be in not dying right away. He or she must have had something die or herm out.
Let's assume that they're actually asking this question from a climate that's very dry. Let's assume that we have an Egyptian audience.
Yeah, so what's one that can deal with a dry climate?
East Indian
that
audience.
May be a better.
So we know that there are a large number of land races that originated in the Middle East. You've got Afghani strains. That would be my very first jump to conclusion with anyone with an Afghan in it would surely, to my limited knowledge, have to be slightly more resistant, drought resistance than, say, like an Acapulco Gold, which is coming from the South America. It was just a lot more moist down there. So you got to also think too, or I would also think too, what is existence without function without purpose. So what is it that makes plants take in moisture? It's their root system. What would make a root system take in more water in a lower environmental system area? More roots, more hairs, more going on below the soil. Maybe compare that with something else. Maybe the root system of something from a little farther south won't be as, say, extravagant or as broad or as prominent as those. So that's my approach.
I don't want to sound ignorant when I say it, so I'm looking it up.
Okay, good idea.
In Israel,
I ain't looking at none. I just make it up. It's philosophical for me.
So my uncle lived in Israel, and he grew in his bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Chris lives in Vegas, and he grows in his house. And I don't know, man. I don't think that's ever been a thought I've had. I think it's about what you do with your media to maintain your media.
I totally understand your point. I totally get it, and I agree with you.
I just think that
don't make dry conditions. We're in a tent.
Yeah, put it in a bigger pot.
Yes. But maybe they're outside. Maybe you're outside.
But it's
maybe
still in
you
a bigger
can't grow
pot
in a
outside.
tent. Maybe you're
But that's why they're 100-gallon pots for a lot of these cats outside.
Now,
you know
also you could have the moist. This is a question. You can have the moistest pot, but what if the air is extraordinarily dry?
Ooh, that may be what he's saying. What can handle the lowest humidity without it stressing out? And again, VPD is VPD, not per genetic. It's VPD.
So that might have an impact. So I guess that's a really good question. I'm glad we could dive into that.
That's where it's how to grow within a drought climate. You know what I'm saying? That's almost where the question should have gone, but I think we kind of gave you some answers that may help in that sense still.
I think we did good.
Yeah.
I think we did good.
I think we did good.
Well done, boys. That was a good one.
I think we did.
I think we did good.
We did good. I think we're great.
I agree. You look wonderful.
Thank you.
This FTS clip was brought to you by AC Infinity, leaders in garden innovation. Use discount code TheStash15 at checkout to save some money on your order.
From the Stash Podcast.